Guys, it's a me, Rlaarlo. I'm out here with my little 12 scale Rlaarlo dune buggy thing. This thing is a champ. Oh, don't want to hit that curb. I was out here earlier with my HBX. That thing is amazing. I just love that little HBX. This thing's amazing too. And honestly, I didn't pay too much more for this than I did for any of my HBXs. The HBX, they're around $100, and when I bought this thing, it was like 120 something. It was like the first 500 customers got this car, 2-cell battery, metal bearing carriers with like wheel hubs, C hubs. I haven't installed any of that stuff yet. I'd still stock plastic. I like to keep it plastic. I like to keep cars light as possible. Helps protect the drivetrain. And this thing's already got a slipper clutch, so the drivetrain's pretty well protected. And the thing is fast too. Right now I'm running on 3S with a Pavway 3S battery. Woo! This Pavway 3S battery's been through so much, and I'm gonna be sad when it dies. But it's got plenty of kick, as you can see. Both the car, the little 45 amp ESC in the car. Let's go down the cliff. Yeah. And the battery as well. Now eventually, I'm still using the stock remote here, but eventually I'm going to put it on my radio link, because I want gyro on this car. When you get it up to speeds of going around 40, it can be a little squirrely, and the gyro would help keep it straight. Oh, that was almost really bad. I could have came sideways into this stuff and broke my knuckles. And I've got some of those WL toys, C-hubs and bearing carriers that I ordered off AliExpress. And honestly, I had to just use one of them for my basher buggy the other day because I hit something solid and broke on my C-hub. So I'm one C-hub down. And since there are right and left directional, once you use one, that's it. You gotta hope that you break the other one now. You're like, okay, I broke the right, now I need to break the left, because I have one left C-hub left. Oh. Uh-oh. That knocked my battery loose. I gotta see this battery. It works. Ooh. But if it's jostled around too much, the connection inside the battery will, like the soldering is starting to come undone. And that's sad, because I do love that little Pavway. It's been used quite a bit in my WL Toys cars. And they don't normally make the smaller batteries in a hard shell. So, they can only take so much abuse. Ooh. Ooh. And then you gotta retire them. And if you're handy, you can get into them and swap cells and things like that. This thing's definitely geared for speed. That was this 3-cell speed right there. Pretty much wide open. Oh, little kick up. Now I put some little more tension on my. These diffs work good, man. I put a little more tension on my front shocks there for jumps. I've never got a top speed on this thing, but I imagine it's in the 40s. These tires are good, but you have to watch it because they will split from bouncing around and taking hits. It's starting to split right along this seam right there, and once that happens, I don't know what you can do. And so I went around and super glued around the edge of all my wheels yesterday, kind of as a preventive measure to make sure that those wheels don't split. Good little servo in this thing, and it does have an adjustable servo saver. So this thing's outfitted way better than a lot of 10 scale cars from big names. I mean, there's nothing they didn't think of in this thing. It's just like an LC racing car, but for a fraction of the price. Slipper clutch, oil-filled shocks, really nice oil-filled shocks, and all metal gears. I think the servo's even metal geared servo. I know it's really fast. Oh, and yeah, and the servo saver, like I was saying. That's a cost-cutting measure that WL Toys just do not get into. They don't do servo savers. They don't do slipper clutches. They've been around long enough to where they should be getting into that sort of thing. Uh-oh. I wanted some kind of low voltage. That's weird. This battery shouldn't be there already. It was a full battery a minute ago. Yeah, it should have plenty of charge left in it. Not sure why it's crapping out. But the car is amazing, and even at 170 bucks, it's definitely worth it. Compared to what's out there, I mean, the 12 scale brushless WL toys are at 130, and so this thing's at around 160 something. Definitely worth it. Definitely. And then some, really. I mean, they could charge 200 bucks for this car easily. And with the gear they gave me for free, buying those knuckles and those aluminum upgrades that they gave me for this car. Oh, and the motor mount is also adjustable. So you can take this 3200, I think it's a 28, 48, something like that, 3200 kV, and swap it out. Not that you'd need to. The motor is fucking amazing. The ESC is amazing. And this little car is the shit. Gotta be careful not to hit those freaking dividers. I've never had a problem with cogging either, so this gearing is ideal. And they put pretty good thread lock on that motor mount from the factory, so I've never had any slipping going on. So their gear mesh is perfect. But if you get one of these cars, do not hesitate to go through all the screws in the chassis and make sure that they have thread lock, the ones that are supposed to, because my steering column screws did not have thread lock in them, and so